Washington mornings on the Mall.
105.9 FM.
And AM 630.
WMAL.
It is 8:37 on WMAL, the place where Washington comes to talk. Brian Wilson, Brian Neiman. On the phone right now, D.C. Councilmember Jim Graham. Mr. Councilman, how are you?
Good.
We want to talk to you about this proposal that you have that would increase the district's alcohol excise tax. Basically, it comes down to about paying 6 cents more per drink at bars and liquor stores in a bid to close down what some people have called a budget gap in the district. Tell me about your proposal.
Well, it's really an effort, and I know the bar owners. I'm hearing from the bar owners and the hotels, but it's really an effort to find money to cover the gaps that we have in homeless services. You know, if this budget goes through unaltered, we're going to have a situation where 50% of our adult non-hypothermia, in other words, during the warmer months, non-hypothermia season, homeless shelters are going to be shut down. Clinics are going to be shut down. Transportation is going to be shut down. In addition to that, as I think you may know, I'm opposed to the last call extension to 4 a.m.
This is being proposed by the mayor, right?
Right, and 3 a.m. during the week. And this would also cover the budget gap that results from us defeating that proposal.
Well, let me ask you. You talk about a budget gap, but I'm reading stories in the paper even today about how you're squabbling over how you should spend the current surplus.
I know. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Well, why do we have a gap if there's a surplus?
Precisely. And I agree with you 100%. But there is a feeling that we should be putting more and more and more of our money into the savings accounts of the District of Columbia, even though we're one of the jurisdictions of the United States who has the most reserve money anywhere. So I understand it's an anomaly. But the fact of the matter, this is what we're left with, and something's got to give.
All right. So why? But if you want to earmark, can you even earmark the money for the homeless that you want? If you raise the tax on bar owners,
it's not a tax on bar owners.
Well, not bar owners, but you know.
It's a tiny increase on the cost per drink, and that's how the wholesale price. Actually, it's a tax at the wholesale level, but we can assume it will be transferred in this tiny amount to people who are imbibing.
But can you even earmark it for that specific purpose?
Yes, we can.
You can.
It's not an earmark. It's a.
Well, earmark's not the right term, but I mean, make sure that the money is going to the specific project that you wanted to go
definitely, because I have the homeless within my committee as well. We could definitely do that. But let me say that we don't have taxation within my committee. So this is something that we're suggesting. It's just a suggestion to the full council. As to whether or not they will consider it, I'm not sure. But we have a big problem in terms of human services.
Okay, fair enough. But couldn't you take some of the surplus that's there now and dedicate it to that?
We could.
And apparently
nobody wants to do that.
Nobody wants to do that.
There doesn't appear to be much of an appetite for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, is there much of an appetite for the tax increase?
I don't know, because this hasn't been considered or changed since 1990. Our tax is identical to that of Maryland, which hasn't changed their excise tax on alcohol since 1955. Virginia has no similar tax, as you know, because it's all state operated. But so I mean, these are taxes that we haven't examined for a very long time.
All right, let me switch subjects if I could for a second. The mayor has said that he would like to see basically speed radar cameras and red light cameras throughout the city. Do you hold the same opinion as the mayor does on that issue?
No. I don't think we ought to be London. You know, I think there are cities that have virtually eliminated the right of privacy, and I don't think that should be us. I'd be very concerned. I think the mayor was probably making a hyperbolic statement.
Well, I mean, but we have a lot of them now. A lot of people think we have too many as it is. Do you agree?
There are a lot of them, but you know, I'm very concerned about speeding on our roads. I mean, there are a lot of commuters coming in who are hell bent in their driving approach, you know, to get to work or to go back to home, and I think there's an insufficient respect for our pedestrians, our neighborhoods. bicyclists.
All right, so let me ask you another question that comes up when you talk about the District of Columbia right now. A man you have served alongside of for a very long time, Marion Barry. He has said some rather outrageous things of late.
He has.
And he has tweeted some rather outrageous things. And yet, many members of the council have remained rather silent about these comments.
Well, I don't think that's true. I think a number of us have spoken out.
What's your position on this?
I mean, I spoke out when he made his first comment about the Asian Class B licenses, the grocery stores in Ward 8. I think he knows that he's crossing the line.
Well, he doesn't seem to be very apologetic at all. In fact, he says it's not his fault. But he also said it was the media's fault.
Well, this is Marion Barry, and the fact of the matter is that people have spoken out. The fact of the matter is that we are very uncomfortable with these statements. I think Councilmember Barry regrets having made them. I hope that he's not going to make any new ones in the future.
Is there anything the council could do to,
No,
nothing at all?
I mean, we should be in a position to censor a member for behavior, but I'm not sure that extends to First Amendment statements.
All right. Councilman Graham, good to have you on the program. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Thanks for the invitation.